Dot dot dot. Maybe the only words you know of this man, this boy known to be a prodigy. You may have thought that he had no other passion outside of Pokemon battles, but when the passion of the heart arises, even he falls victim to it, because Red himself has also once fallen in love. Well, sorta. Someone else fell in love to get him to fall in love, if you know what I mean. So let's dive into this romance that you never heard of. In the games, Red is obviously a silent protagonist, someone who we play as and save the day through. The guy doesn't say much, if anything at all, and there's no major character who actually shows any interest in him and vice versa. This is shown in the Gen 1 and 2 games and their remakes, but with the addition of Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, there was someone new who came into the picture. Green. Prior to these games, Green was just a playable character known as Leaf in Fire Red and Leaf Green. Due to Red being the canonical player character, she didn't even get a chance to appear in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. This was the first known time where they both existed in the same game universe, but they didn't interact. However, they did interact in Masters, where there were some instances of them having conversations that might seem as if they're slightly interested in each other, or even seeming close enough that they would be together, but nothing too crazy at all. That's where the Pokemon Adventures manga comes in, because in the manga, those two have some spicy manga panels. Except, this isn't the girl he's actually in love with. Leaf or Green might be who most of you are expecting to be his love interest, because it's the only notable female for him in the games. But there's another girl involved who's not a part of the games. Am I saying there's nothing between Leaf and Red? No, there definitely are things we can talk about, but if you know anything about the Pokemon Adventures manga, you know Green is second fiddle. And no, I'm not talking about Blue. I'm talking about the manga exclusive character, Yellow. Let's do a breakdown of Red and Yellow's romantic history with each other and talk about what makes this pairing so special. The shipping is known as special shipping if you didn't catch the joke. I gotta give a shout out to I Need My Tea from Poke Amino for compiling all the special shipping moments together. For those unaware, the Pokemon Adventures manga comes in volumes corresponding to the game's titles. The first few volumes are named after Pokemon Red, Blue, and Green. Then we have Yellow, followed by Gold, Silver, and Crystal, and so on and so forth. Each title shifts the story's focus to different parts and characters, with the titles often reflecting the protagonist's names. In the Red volumes, the main focus is on Red. While Blue is introduced in the Red volume, when the story moves towards the Blue chapters, Red remains the main focus, but Blue gains more prominence. The Green chapters introduce Green as a character, corresponding to the female character seen in the concept art for the games. Now you cover the rival, the player character, and the female character. And again, as seen in the concept art, all three of them were made for the games. But now we have Pokemon Yellow coming out as a game. So what do you do for a character here? Story and spoiler time, lads. While I highly recommend you read the manga, as it's pretty different from the games and the anime, still follows the same basic story, just way cooler, so the actual details are more important than the actual plot, so by watching this video you can still enjoy the details of the Adventures manga when you read it on your own time. But in the Red, Blue, Green manga, to sum it up very quickly, Red meets Blue and Green throughout his adventures, and each of them become a Pokédex holder in their own way. Together, they defeat an insane version of Team Rocket, and Red eventually becomes the league champion. Before Red beats Giovanni and becomes a champion, they're set up for the Yellow Saga. Near the end of his journey in the third volume, Red is walking into Viridian Forest when a younger girl is suddenly attacked by a wild Dratini. Red protects and saves her, showing care and concern, and helps her catch her first Pokemon, a Rattata. Okay, I know it's just a Rattata, but it's a special Rattata, because Red teaches her that Pokemon will always be our friends if you care for them with a loving heart. Who is this girl, you might ask? Well, it's Yellow, of course, though Red doesn't know that yet. After defeating Giovanni and passing out, Yellow is by his side when he regains consciousness. Red needs to advance to the Pokemon League, but Yellow doesn't want him to leave, suggesting that they need a new Viridian City gym leader to try and make him stay. Red explains that he has things to do, but promises to return as the best gym leader there ever was, once he's achieved more. After beating the Pokemon League, Red went missing for 2 years, only for him to be discovered nearly dead and trapped in ice. Before this revelation, Yellow disguised as a boy for some reason, and Red's Pikachu, Pika, went on a mission to find him. Red's Pokemon were trapped in ice with him, except for Pikachu, who found its way to Yellow and teamed up with her because, you know, Pikachu thinks it just stays outside the Pokeball. And throughout this time, Yellow showed multiple signs of having feelings for Red. When Green told Yellow that Red was missing, she was shocked and immediately was willing to find him. She blushed when she thought she saw him and was determined to train with Blue to save him. Yellow smiled at the thought of teaming up with Red and got so angry upon seeing him trapped in ice that Blaine had to restrain her and was tearfully calling out for him, ignoring Blaine's warning about a torrent coming right at her. When Red was freed from the ice, he saw a drawing of himself in Yellow's sketchbook and was shocked. After Yellow defeated Lance and fell unconscious, she woke up in Red's arms on his Gyarados, blushing. Red commended her effort and noticed her butterfree string shot wrapped around their pinkies like lovers, making Yellow freak out. Red even suggested that they live together, causing her to blush again. However, Red didn't realize that Yellow was the same girl that he saved earlier. And heck, he didn't even know Yellow was a girl, making the love entirely one-sided on Yellow's part. By the 7th volume, Red still doesn't know Yellow's a girl, let alone the same girl from back then, alright? He's completely oblivious. Classic happy-go-lucky, stupid anime brain protagonist brain, you know what I'm talking about? But you know what's not stupid? Hitting that subscribe button to see some more manga shipping content from Pokemon Adventures. Come on, I need to know if you guys want to see me talk about Ruby and Sapphire. While Red is recovering in the Gold and Silver chapters, Yellow and Daisy Oak help Red out, and at one point Daisy asks Yellow if she told Red about her gender, and she just blushes and ignores it, focusing on helping Red. Red actually pushes his health a bit because he wants to take the test to become the Viridian City gym leader. Whether this is because he remembers his promise to the little girl who's yellow, or just simply, we don't know, but I want to say it's due to the promise. That adds to the fun here. But throughout the test, Yellow is constantly shown to be concerned, and later on during the final battle of the manga in the Crystal Saga, which I don't know how to show this off without spoiling some cool scenes because it is the final battle, and this battle isn't in the games, but we'll try not to show off too much, Yellow's identity of being a girl is finally revealed to Red, and boy is he shocked. He kinda gets over it quickly because of the situation they're all in, but trust me, the shock would have lasted longer if they weren't in such a dire situation. More than that, after the final battle, Red gets an accidental call from Misty, and you wouldn't believe it, Yellow is straight up jealous and trying to snoop around and make sure nothing funny is happening because, get this, Misty also has an interest in Red. Yeah, this guy has all the ladies of the Adventures manga, but unlike Ash's hypothetical situations, Red actually faces these situations. Anyways, Green catches on to this and says another battle looks like it's going to take place, and in a very loud voice, to tease Red, Yellow, and Misty, she tells them that if they're confused, then maybe they should all just live together, which is a callback and a tease to what Red said to Yellow without realizing that she's a girl. Another thing to note is that since returning Red's Pikachu to him, Yellow got her own Pikachu, and in the Gold, Silver, and Crystal chapters, Red's Pikachu and Yellow's Pikachu did the deed, had an egg, which Gold received, hatched into Pichu. Some believe this signifies the trainers' future feelings for each other, while others disagree. But I'm personally on the camp that agrees, because, you know, why not? Another moment is when Yellow and Mewtwo are being transported by Deoxys, and Yellow's fishing line catches Red's finger, echoing Caterpie's string shot from the Yellow saga. Later, Blue and Green find Yellow asleep, thinking about Red. She firmly believes that Red will keep his promises and return to her, even though Blue took over for him there, but still, she still trusts him wholeheartedly, which I really respect. In a cinematic battle in the Emerald Saga of the manga, some Pokédex holders are turned to stone, and Yellow is held in Red's arms, which, you know, in a kid's series, this is pretty telling of romance. There's a happy ending to this fight, but I don't want to spoil it anymore, but I will say, Yellow doesn't appear in the manga past the Emerald arc. Red appears less frequently with his last appearance in the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire arc, while Yellow doesn't make an appearance really past this. So this is where their story ends. Unless, of course, she decides to come back to the Pokemon Adventures manga, or if they decide to end the manga, which, if they did, I'm sure we'd be seeing adult versions of the two together, because unlike the anime, the characters in the manga actually age. Throughout all of this, it's clear that Yellow is the one in love, but I think Red is also in love. He's just a bit shy. I mean, in the games, all he says is ... so some level of that shyness has to be there in the manga, right? I feel like if he wasn't in love with her, he would have said something or at least clarified the thing about living together, but he didn't. He looks at her fondly, they have some cute moments together, and he held her in his arms, which on paper, not much, but for a Pokemon series? Oh yeah, that's a lot. So if you ask me, this is Red's one true shipping pair. I almost want to say it's canon, but technically it's not confirmed to be, so I can't say that. But I would go as far as saying that if I could. Of course, Red does have other people interested in him in the manga, but we'll go over that another time. But for now, I would say this is Red's one true love. A very wholesome and cute and incredibly simple ship, but it's a story that not many people know of since they only ever see the game version of Red. But just know, if Yellow ever appears in the games, you're gonna see a whole nother side to this man that you now know exists. Hey, I know it's unrelated to the video, but I do want to send you guys off with something that can help you in your daily lives. So I'm going to recommend and make mention of Ishakriya again. If you're dealing with any form of stress, tension, or anxiety, I recommend you check it out as it's a free meditation that'll help you out a bunch. It only takes 12 minutes and maybe it'll even help you get your life to go as smooth sailing as a ship between Red and Yellow. Next week, we're going to talk about Ash and a bunch of his many shipping pairs. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you over on next week's video.